Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me adjust this so I can, there we go. Good evening, y'all. Welcome to another segment of Marquez TV right here at UTB and everything, man. Look, woo, this past week has been busy, busy, busy. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you all have gotten a chance to see something new that we did. Me, B-Level, and Jimmy Morris, attorney here in Arkansas, we did a fantastic off-the-fly impromptu show, an after dark show Wednesday night. And when I tell y'all that show, was it Wednesday or was it Tuesday? Whenever it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. That show was off the chain. It was extremely informational. It helped a lot of people be informed where they did not understand the situation of how jury selection go and things of that nature. And it was just, I mean, it was phenomenal. I appreciate B-Level for coming up with that idea. It was superb. Excuse me. And my big ups, as always, to Jimmy for his knowledge of the law and his vernacular of it and way of explaining. And I hope everyone that watched it, and I'll just say this, and I might talk about it at the end, I hope everybody understands the importance in the Black community, the importance of getting on jury duty. If you don't understand after watching that show, then I don't know what to tell your crazy ass. I mean, if you just still want to hold your hand up and still say, you don't want to sit on jury, but then you want to complain that black people are not being fairly treated within the system and everything, then I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Now, I'm not here to talk about the game in itself, but I'm gonna tell y'all I am a San Antonio Spurs fan. I've been a San Antonio Spurs fan since Tim Duncan come out of Wake Forest in 1998 and joined into the league. I have that has been my team. It's gonna always be my team. Rain, sleet, or snow, sun shining or not. But let me tell y'all something. If y'all have not been paying attention to social media and the news, if you've just been watching the game and not been watching what's been going on outside of Madison Square Garden, you all have missed a whole lot. Now, there are multiple videos all across social media that's showing how uncouth, how deplorable, how disgraceful Knicks fans are. Now, people like Stephen A. Smith, who's a longtime Knicks fan, has come on and said that those people that did that are not true Knicks fans. I don't care what you say. I've seen a dude that's a Dallas Cowboys fan knock a bitch out one time about talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he was just ranting and raving, and he told him to get out of his face, and he wouldn't, and he laid him out. One hit a quitter. So I know some people will get overly, aggressive about their team, but this shit that's been going on for the last two games, game 3 and game 4 in New York, is absurd. You got fans that are outside of Madison Square Garden jumping on San Antonio Spurs fans, ripping their jerseys off, fighting police and everything. And I'm going to get into the legal ramifications of it because I've got 2 videos pertaining to this subject. So right now I'm gonna play this first one. It's kind of lengthy, so just bear with me. But if you watch it, you will be shocked and awe at what's going on. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this first video. Okay, now that video was during game 3. That was the game where San Antonio Spurs won. Now, let me explain the legal ramifications behind what happened. 21 people on that particular night, which I believe was Monday night, 21 people were taken into custody total. 8 were arrested and formally charged, while 13 were released with criminal court summons. The 8 arrested faced charges of assault on a police officer, criminal possession of a weapon, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration. 13 summons were for disorderly conduct. Now, they've got, like I said, multiple videos out there where are much worse than that. Videos all over TikTok, videos all over Facebook. You can search them on YouTube, wherever, showing individuals who are Knicks fans getting extremely violent against Spurs fans. There's one video I remember in particular where they were ripping the Spurs fans' jersey off. They were kicking him while he was on the ground. They were punching him. Even one black guy appeared to spit on him. Let me tell you something. I'm all for open carry and stand your ground. Completely 100% for it. I firmly believe that if you go to put your hands on me in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or put your hands on someone, you should be able to deal with them however you see fit. There shouldn't be no if they only did this, you can only do that. No. You have no business putting your hands on someone because your team lost. It is unacceptable. It is unconscionable and should not be tolerated. Now, see, personally, I feel the NBA should take a course of action, a severe course of action. Some will say the Knicks as an organization does not have anything to do with that. Well, sort of, kind of. Me personally, if I was the commissioner of the NBA after Game 3, Game 4 would not have been played in New York. I would have taken Game 4 and put it in Utah. I would have moved it totally away from the state of New York, away from the city of New York and everything. Because the way I look at it, if your fans are that aggressive, are that ignorant and that stupid, then your city does not need a sports team. Point blank, period. When you have all the other NBA teams that you can go and play at, not acting like that, acting like they've got, their fans are acting like they've got good sense. They might talk shit. There's nothing wrong with talking shit. But when you go to the extremes of tearing up your city, tearing up police cars, tearing up taxi cabs, jumping on the other team's fans just because they got a Wembanyama jersey on or whomever other jersey on, you're attacking them physically. That's totally unacceptable. Take their team away from them. That's the way you punish them. Make them where they don't have no sport team, period, if they want to act like that. I'm going to show y'all something. The New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. They hate each other and despise each other like a son bitch. But you don't see the fans when they go to Boston, they're getting attacked. You don't, and vice versa. They have what's called the subway series, where the subway goes from Boston, Massachusetts to New York, and from New York to Boston. And they get on that, and there be Boston fans on the same train as there are New York Yankees fans on the same train. And they're talking smack to each other. But ain't nobody hitting each other. There might be one or two. There might be one or two that get drunk and get belligerent. But not like what's going on with the New York Knicks fans. That is outrageous. Now I'm gonna take you a little bit closer and show you another video. Now, this next video is insane because after San Antonio gets playing game 4, after they finish playing game 4, and they've lost a 29-point George, where I can't even fathom the thought of what the fuck went on. Charles Barkley said it best, that was the most stupidest team in the NBA in sports history. They were. After playing the game, I'm gonna wind it up to it. After playing the game and losing, they took their shower at Madison Square Garden in their locker room. They got dressed, and they're going back to their hotel room. I want to show you this video. Play it. Okay, they were at their hotel, and as you saw, it looked like Macy's Day Parade. It looked like the ball dropping on New Year's right outside of their hotel room. And somebody threw a fucking egg and hit Wemby in the back of the head. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of cameras in New York. If you've been to New York, you can't do no crime in New York and it not be seen. There are enough cameras out there on every building, on every pole, everything that they can zoom in and see somebody's butt crack if they want to look at your butt crack. The police need to find out who threw that egg, if they haven't already. And when they do, they need to charge that cocksucker criminally with aggravated assault. I don't give a damn the fact that it's an egg. I wouldn't give a goddamn if it's a pig foot. You ain't got no business throwing nothing at this man. These are NBA players. That's just the same as an actor or an actress who plays a villain in a part. And everybody goes after him or her and say, man, I hate you. I fucking hate you. But it's just a part that they're playing a role. Here's an NBA player, and you want to hate him so much because he's so athletic, he's so great, he's young, and he plays for another team that's playing your team, in the NBA finals, and you want to throw a fucking egg and hit this man in his head. Whoever threw, you know what? If you're out there and you watching, if they have not arrested you yet, you maggot piece of shit. Whoever threw that egg and hit Wemby in his head, you're a fucking piece of shit. I hope, well, I can't say that. I can't say that. Because we're on YouTube, so I can't say that.
Marquez,
but y'all pretty much get where I'm coming from on that. Whoever you are, I personally would love to fly to New York and dust you myself.
Marquez, check your comments. Look at the screen. I'm
looking. I can't see no comments. I can't see them. I can't. I could probably look on my phone. I know where you at. I know, but you ain't trying to hate on New York Knicks, coward.
Read it. Look at the second
one. I feel you. Eagles going to always be my team. Trump should have stayed at home. They beat some with and took his jersey.
So why don't you come to New York if you're scared and get a dog?
Well, you know what? That doesn't even deserve a response. Sometimes, you just this is the thing. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about right there. That's a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm glad whoever the douchebag is that said it, I'm so glad they said that. Because it goes to show that there are no sportsmen in the state of New York or in the city of New York as far as being competitive. They're angry because they haven't won shit since 1917. And I hope and pray that something happens and they don't win this. But of course, we're down 3-1 and it doesn't look good. So like I said, I'm not here for that. But still, I hold to my point. I don't care what no piece of shit Knicks fan says, no piece of shit individual who lives in New York, no piece of shit motherfucker who's from New York or whatever. Your fans who were out there that did what they did are a piece of shit. They're going to always be a piece of shit. And I hope every piece of shit that was arrested and did everything that wasn't arrested yet gets arrested, and they need to go to prison. They need to reopen up that motherfucking prison that they closed over there, and they need to put those pieces of shit into there and just lock them up. I don't have no sympathy or no understanding for individuals who break the law in a stupid way. If you break the law for trying to defend yourself or something, different thing. But if you're breaking the law because you're out here just doing stupid shit like these Knicks fans were, they're pieces of shit. You're going to always be pieces of shit. You were probably born into pieces of shit. Your parents are probably pieces of shit. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. And then you come on here and then you challenge me and say, come to New York or whatever. Well, I hope you're here in Little Rock. If you're a Knicks fan or if you're from New York, come and find me. I'm not hard to find, and approach me and see what happens. Because I'm not going to play with you. Arkansas is a stand your ground law state and an open carry. So that's all I'm going to say on that part. Now, let's speak about the arrest that went on after that game. NYPD took 56 people in custody. 15 people were formally arrested. Another 41 was released with criminal court summons. Charges were assault on a police officer, criminal possession of a weapon, and criminal mischief. So you had not only douchebags out there attacking Spurs fans, you not only had douchebags out there tearing up taxi cabs and other vehicles that had nothing to do with the situation, but you had douchebags out there attacking police officers as well. Let me tell you something. Once you unprovoked put your hands on a police officer, I feel like that police officer should be able to do whatever he or she wants to do to you, and it should be justified. If you put your hands on them unprovoked, if they have not put their hands on you, then, and you put your hands on them, they should be able to pick you up and undertaker your ass if that's what they want to do. And if that gives you a concussion, a broken neck, spine, whatever, then you shouldn't have put your hands on them. But if the shoe is on the other foot and the police put their hands on you unprovoked, then the other way around. But we know Knicks fans are crazy. These fans have been notorious for being for being aggressive, being angry, and so forth. Like Shirley said, Philadelphia Eagles fans are the same way, and it's ridiculous. But you know, hey, it is what it is. Stephen A., who's a Knicks fan, have spoken against them and has said that there needs to be legal ramifications. The NBA needs to do something about this because there's no justification for you throwing anything at an NBA player. The fans is one thing. You've already assaulted the fans, tore the jerseys out, beat them up, all this and everything. But now here you are throwing stuff and hitting Wemby in the head with an egg. The egg was, if I'm understanding correctly, it was just give me a hard-boiled egg. So it wasn't like it was a yolked egg, a raw egg. It was a hard-boiled egg, allegedly. And if that is the case, that could have injured that man. But do y'all care? No. And that's the sad part, because you have left basketball out of it and you brought physicality into it. But that's my standpoint on that. I'm not going to talk about that. If there's any comments on it, I'm not going to take any comments about any aggression from come to New York, meet me here, meet me there, all that. I'm not going to do that. But if you see me in the street, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to forewarn you. If you come up to me and approach me, your whole left cheek might leave you, if not your right one. I'm just telling you, I believe in protecting myself to the fullest extent of the law. Now, we're going to move right on along to the next topic. The next topic is local, right here in, well, I would say Little Rock, Arkansas, but it comes out of Maumelle, Arkansas. I was on the internet and someone sent me something that someone had already posted. And this situation, man, when I tell y'all, when I saw this, I just shook my head, because it goes to the question of why do we as a race of people get treated like we do? Because we go on our jobs and some of us do what we're supposed to do, and some of us go on our jobs and we act a fool. Now, I don't know what started or precipitated this situation, but I have two videos of a fight, of two different fights that took place at Tractor Supply in Maumelle. Here's the first one. Now, I'll say this. I recognize a couple of the guys in that video. I've seen them before on the town and everything, and I know who they are. And I'm not gonna say their names and everything, but I already know that there have been some out the doors. They were fired. And I take it that one or two of the individuals involved in there were probably lead employees, if not supervisors. I don't know what the situation was that took place. Somebody said in the comments that, man, it'd be hot in there and motherfuckers be getting the shit worked out of them. And then attitudes and anger just build up and it gets aggressive. Now, I don't know if that's true or if that's not true. But here it is, individuals on a job making money to pay their bills and take care of themselves and their families. And now they get into a fight at work and they get fired. Now, they might have another job and losing this job might not hurt them. They might be able to go and get another job right off the back of the head with no problem. Kudos to them. I'm happy for them for that. I don't wish them no ill will. Nevertheless, why is it that we, and there are some white people that go on jobs and fights, and I get that. I've seen that happen before, so let's not think that I'm just targeting black folk. But being a black man myself, I have a vested interest in talking about how black folks act and so forth, whether it's good or bad. Why is it that we cannot go on our jobs and act like we got some decorum, do our jobs, have fun, and then clock in and clock out and go home? Why do we have to get to a point where we have to fight on the job? Basically, that was a Mid-South Wrestling motherfucking battle royal. That was something that you would have seen if you grew up right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, when they used to have Mid-South Wrestling out at Barton Coliseum back in the 1970s and in the 80s, when they had Junkyard Dog, and they had Miss Olympia, they had Ernie the Big Cat Lad, they had Big John Stud, Hacksaw Butch Reed, and many more of them right here in Little Rock, Arkansas, wrestling at the Barton Coliseum. They had a battle royal going on at Tractor Supply. Man, what is going on? I would like to know if somebody out there works at Tractor Supply or did work there and was involved in this melee, or someone that just stood by and seen and know what happened. Come on the show, comment, ask us if you would join in and tell us what happened. We would love to be able to know if it was justified, because there could have been something that was done to somebody that was justified. Somebody got angry, slapped somebody, spit on them, threw something at them, whatever. Because if you do all that, then a fight needs to happen. I'm not finna, if you put your hands on me or throw something at me or spit on me, I'm not finna run to HR. No, wrong answer. I'm not finna run to HR, telling HR on you and all like that. I'm gonna handle it right then and there. Either you gonna tear me up or I'm gonna tear you up. One of the two. That's just the way it is. We both gonna lose our jobs that day. And hopefully HR can look at it and say, well, Marquez, you got an exemplary record. You ain't done nothing. You know, he or she did spit on you or slap you first, you know. But of course, most jobs have a zero tolerance fighting policy. Don't care whether you defending yourself or whatever. You supposed to just take that ass whooping and go to HR and tell them, hey, such and such put their hands on me. The camera saw it. I took that ass whooping and I still got my job. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. I not for us. Now maybe for the other race it might do. You slap a white boy, he probably gonna take off running quick, fast, and in a hurry to HR and get you gone and he's not. But it goes down. And obviously it goes down at Tractor Supply because that ain't it. That ain't it, y'all. I got another video for y'all. Look at this one.
I'm that motherfucker house. The nigga shut his house.
Girls Gone Wild, senior edition. They got tired quick. They were pulling hair, they uppercut here, uppercut there, and everything. It's not just the fellas fighting, it's the women fighting too. But the only difference in this one, it wasn't a melee. It was a straight up Dottie Westbrook, just one-on-one. Nobody jumped in or nothing. I got to hand it. Let me give credit to North Little Rock Hood News. Them folks sent you them videos, and hey, you big ups to you. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Why is it that we going on these jobs clowning like this? Man, let me be serious for a moment. Let me be serious for a moment. We are living in an economy. We are living in a time where things are about to get really hard, harder than what they normally are. We know gas is fluctuating. We already know about the war. We already know about what Trump is doing. We already know about this and about that, and what's causing the economy to mess up here and tank here and go there and go there. And cost of food is rising. Rent and mortgage is rising. Cost of gas is rising. Damn. Goddamn gnat. Maintenance issues on your car is rising. When you take it to Precision Tune or the dealership or wherever you take it to, prices as high as hell. Even if you take it to a shade tree mechanic, they're gonna charge you whatever they're gonna charge you. Prices are high. Things are high. Even the price of pussy is high out here. Now that right there, I mean, I remember a time when you could get some for like about $20. Now, inflation done went up. Everybody want to charge for it. The dudes want to charge for the pita. The women want to charge for the coochie. And now for you talking about getting charged $60, $80, maybe $100. don't dare ask for no cat. Unless you go up to Pick Pack and sit and wait in the corner for one of them to come walking by. That's the only way you're gonna get some cheap and cooch and some cheap cooch. Because you're gonna pay a damn near arm and a leg if you want something decent. And don't get on tagged and POF and black and BLK, man. Let me tell you something. These apps they're confusing to me because they say if you want to meet your black queen or your black king on there, ain't nobody getting on there to really date and court like we did growing up. Everybody wants something off the bat. Woman want a cell phone bill paid. If you meet her, you take her out. She want to go out for dinner. She want her nails done. She want a 36-piece and her head done. And I ain't talking about no chicken. I'm talking about the weave, putting her head. She want everything, and then want some money. Even the dudes out here selling pipe. Yeah. Everybody's selling everything that's a part of their body. Well, I can tell you about Marquez. Marquez ain't selling. Marquez ain't buying. Now, I'm not criticizing anybody that sells they goods. Hey, get your paper the best way you know how. I ain't knocking nobody for their hustle. All I'm simply saying is it is too hard out here for a player or a playette to be fighting on a job and lose your job and then got to pay them bills. I'm telling you, everybody can't sell their goods. All goods ain't good goods. And everybody ain't gonna pay everybody for their goods. Some of y'all got some stuff that's just not sellable. It just ain't sellable. It can't be bought. It ain't gonna be bought. Mother wouldn't give you one rusty nickel for it. It just is what it is. But y'all better stop that. I'm telling you, it's getting too hard out here for people to be struggling, and then you fighting on the job. In this day and time, when you're living in a household, to really be able to maintain and have decent way of living, it's got to be a 2-income household. Both persons in the house got to be bringing a decent paycheck in the house. Now, if you are a single person and you stay by yourself, like myself, then you got to pretty much work 2 jobs and have a side hustle. Or just have one good ass paying job. And here in Arkansas, I don't know what that's going to be unless, hey, now if you're a single man coming out of high school or getting a GED and you want to make close to $75,000 off the bat, then you can become a police officer for Little Rock. Because they paying good. The salary for an individual that has no education but just a high school diploma or GED, I believe with the Little Rock PD is like about 60 something, close to $70,000 a year. And that don't even count that $15,000 sign-on bonus. That don't even add that in. And then if you go to school and get an associate's or bachelor's degree, you're going to make close to 80,000 as a police officer. Give or take 1,000 or two, somewhere up in there. So it's money to be made out here, but it's just what you want to do to make it. So my plea to y'all is stop all that fighting. Stop all that fighting at Tractor Supply, because soon Tractor Supply ain't gonna have no employees. And then there ain't gonna be nobody to supply the tractors and whatever else they do out there. And if you ain't got no air out there, Tractor Supply, you need to put some air out there, because working them men and women in a sweatshop, I don't know how much you pay them. I don't know what you pay them, but I don't give a damn. I'm not working in a sweatshop. Get some air in there, man. Help them brothers and sisters out. And when I say brothers and sisters, I'm sure there's some white folks that work in there too. They consider as brothers and sisters as well. So listen, I'm going to get out of here a little early. I'm not going to hold y'all all that long, but I want to touch on a little something that's dear to my heart. I started off talking about it from the beginning. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to nail it down. We, and when I say we, I mean me, B-Level, and Jimmy spoke about it Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whatever it was, on the show, and at the After Dark thing that we did. And we talked about the Carmelo Anthony situation. And I had a debate with a young lady who I consider like my niece. And she stated that the system failed Carmelo. I want y'all to understand something. And I want y'all to pay attention to this really, really good, especially black folks. The system did not fail Carmelo. Black people failed Carmelo. And I'm going to tell you why the system did not fail Carmelo. The system did not fail Carmelo because the system never was created to help Carmelo. People can say what they want to say. They say police are here to protect and serve. No, they're not. Police are here to make sure that they do not abridge and that they uphold your constitutional rights. Study history and see why police were created. Police officers and departments were created as slave catchers. If you don't believe me, that's fine. Just study history. Just research for yourself. This system was not designed to help anybody who breaks the law to get off, except for our fair-skinned people who has money and power to be able to get them the best attorneys, who rub elbows with the judges, and they play golf with them and all that. People, especially our black folks, our young black people who have not picked up a legal book, who don't know how to research a court reporter or court citation or anything, who don't know how to look at the annotated statutes, research and study history. That will tell you everything you need to know about whatever it is that you want to know about. The system did its job as it relates to Carmelo Anthony. We all know that the criminal justice system is disparagingly against. We know this. We've argued it multiple times a year, wanting, criminal justice reform. We've beaten it over the head. But if you think that the system was supposed to work in Carmelo's defense, you're sadly mistaken. And any lawyer that's a lawyer that's real will tell you that. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law is bullshit. We already know that. And you know how you know that? Because if that's the case, why are you paying a bond? Why are you sitting in court or in jail waiting to go to trial if you can't post a bond? If I'm innocent, if I'm truly innocent, let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100%. Innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I get arrested, charged, locked up. Why am I getting locked up? Why do I have to go and pay a bondsman or put a cash amount of money up to get out if I'm innocent? Then, when I do go to court and I'm found not guilty, why don't I get my money back? I've always asked that question. Why can't I get my bail money back? I was found not guilty. So therefore, all the money that I spent to show and prove that I did not commit this crime was just a waste. I just wasted this money. I feel that every time a person spends their money on bail and a lawyer and they're found not guilty, they should be able to be compensated and given their bail money back, and they should be able to sue the county and the prosecutor in their individual capacity and sue them and recover damages, because they are the ones, along with the police, who charged them, the detective, and everything. I know that this is not going to happen, but this is what should happen. Because what it will do is this. It will make police officers and detectives do the right thing and not rush to charge and arrest a possible innocent person. It will make a prosecutor look at the evidence and interview you to ascertain whether you committed this crime, and that they've got enough evidence to bring an indictment or a charge or whatever, or information against you to charge you for said crimes. And if they take you to trial and then you hire an attorney and that attorney proves that you did not do what the police arrested you and charged you with, and the prosecutor prosecuted you for, you should be able to receive compensation for that. If that happens, that will make motherfuckers start doing the right thing and start looking at every crook and cranny before they start charging and arresting folks just on an information. At least that way it is here in Arkansas. We have to start holding our elected officials accountable. That's why it is so important to vote, especially on the state level. It is our votes count, especially on the state level. Governor, sheriff, prosecuting attorney, mayor, state and federal elected officials, board members, city board members, and so on and so on. We have people running for office that we, the people, are responsible for putting them there by way of our say-so, or not putting them there by way of our say-so. We have the power. The people have the power, but we have to exercise that power. Let me explain something to you. If you are a convicted felon, you cannot vote. If you are still on paper, if you are on parole or probation, you cannot vote. But if you have met your requirements of parole and probation, you go over and get your discharge papers. Once you get your discharge papers, you can go down to the Pulaski County Courthouse or whatever courthouse you're at in your county. I'm going to speak about Pulaski County. And you go down there and you see Terry Hollingsworth, and you give that paperwork to them. They will direct you into the right office and the right department so you can go in there and register to vote. Have a valid Arkansas ID and or driver's license. People, also be in a position to be able to become a juror, to be picked as a juror. And if you are picked as a juror for a criminal or civil case or whatever it might be, stop trying to get out of jury duty. And then comes crying about, he was treated unfairly. He didn't have no black jurors. You know why he didn't have no black jurors? Because 3 of the black jurors that were chosen elected to say that they could not sentence a black man to prison. That they could not, by their Christian ways, sit on a jury and convict this man. So if you can't convict him, why not sit your black ass up there and vote not guilty? Give him a chance. Give him an opportunity. That's where black folks failed him. At least those 3 individual black folks failed him. Any black person that was in jury voir dire, whatever, that were chosen or picked to question, or apparently they didn't want to be on the jury. But the white folks, the Asian, the Indian, Pakistani, whatever was on there, they had sense enough to say, yeah, they could vote for this. They could send him to prison. They could do this and do that. That's why he had basically an all-white jury, or we'll just say a non-black jury. Then you can't holler Batson versus Kentucky. You can't, like Jimmy said. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. I'm off my soapbox now, because this pretty much is what this podcast was on. I was on my soapbox. But I thought that I would give you all some information that would help you throughout your day, throughout your life, whether it was about the NBA, whether it was about the tractor supply and the job situation, or it was about Carmelo Anthony. So once again, I'll be back next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. with another good hot topic or topics, and we'll discuss them and break them down. It might be something juicy. It might be something educational or whatever. But whatever it is, always know that you're going to get the truth, the honesty, and the facts from Marquez TV. I appreciate y'all. Have a good night. God bless your hearts, all your parts. Good night.